Namaste children, welcome back to mathematics class. How are you? In the previous class, we learnt about discounts. Now, you are able to find discounts on particular price of an item. Okay? Now, we are going to learn a new concept. Suppose, when you start a business, you don't have sufficient money. What will you do? Yes, we borrow money. But money lenders do not give money without any profit. So they will give money for if we pay extra money on that. Okay, that extra money is called interest. Today we are going to learn about a concept called simple interest. Come on, let's learn about simple interest.
Through this class, we are going to learn what is simple interest. We will learn how to find simple interest on particular amount called principal with some rate of interest for some time period. Let me share the agenda of today's class. We will learn two new words with their meaning and their usage. We will recall what we learned in the previous class. We will learn about simple interest with examples. Then we will solve problems using the concept of simple interest. Let us learn today's words in focus. The first word is borrow. Borrow is a verb. The textbook usage is the money borrowed or lent out for a set time period is called principal. The meaning of borrow is to take and use something that belongs to somebody else and return them at a later time. And the usage is the goal is to borrow funds at a low interest rate. Let us learn the second word, which is repay, which is a verb. The textbook usage is the amount that is to be repaid back is equal to the sum of the borrowed principal and the interest. The meaning of repay is to pay back the money that you have borrowed from somebody. And another usage is the report repays careful reading. You find other verb conjugations and usages. Let's recall what we learnt in the previous class. In the previous class, we learnt about percentage. And using this percentage, we also learnt profit as well as loss. We expressed profit and loss in terms of percentages. Come on, let's learn about this in brief. Percentage means value for every 100 and we will denote it by symbol percent sign. Suppose 6% of 250 means 6 for every 100. So let us find how many hundreds are in this. In 250 we have 2 hundreds and 150. For each 100 we will take 6 value, for each 50 we will take half of the 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 3, which is 50. So 6% of 250 is 50. So this way we will find the percentage of some particular values. Using these percentages we will calculate discounts. We will see in online banking or online marketing, they will give some reducing price in terms of percentages and we call it as a discount. Here actual cost of book is 299 but they reduced 58%. So after reducing 58%, which means for every 100 they reduce 58 rupees. Then they reduced 174, then cost of the book is 125 rupees. So this way we understood percentages in the previous classes. Now let's recall the terms profit and loss. In the previous session, we understood in which case we will get profit or loss. Now, let us recall the terms related to profit and loss. Cost price. Price of an item at which an article is purchased is called cost price. For example, we purchase pencil for 5 rupees. Here 5 rupees is the cost price of the pencil. Second one is selling price. We purchased pencil for 5 rupees, now we are selling it for 6 rupees. So here 6 rupees is the selling price of the article. Price of an item at which an article is sold is called selling price. Now based on the cost price and selling price, we may get profit or loss. So in which case we will get profit? Yes, when selling price is more than the cost price, then we will get profit. Suppose we purchase it for 5 rupees and selling for 6 rupees, so we have a chance of getting profit. Suppose if you sell the pencil for 4 rupees, then you will get loss of 1 rupee. So loss will be obtained when cost price is more than the selling price. Now using this, we learned how to find profit percentage. Profit by cost price into 100, then you can find profit percentage. Similarly, loss percentage can be found by using this formula, profit by loss by CP into 100. So this way you can use the concept of percentages in finding profit and loss percentages. Now let us understand the today concept, which is interest. What is interest and when do we pay this interest and why do we pay interest? So interest is the additional money paid on borrowed money. We will understand this by using a simple examples. Suppose we are staying in a rented house. Our parents pay rent for every month. Why need to pay rent for the house? Yes, we are using the house which is not our own. So because of using others' house, we are paying rent. Suppose we want to purchase a bike, but we may not have enough money to purchase bike. Then what we do generally? Yes, we borrow money from others, but they will not give that money without accepting extra money, and that is called interest. So they give money for interest. So after some time period, we need to return back the money with additional money. That additional money is called interest. Now the person who need money for doing business, purchasing things and everything is called borrower. They require money for their own personal needs. And the persons who give money for interest are called money lenders. So they will take some extra money for giving their own money to borrowers. So they are called money lenders and they will give money for interest. So the borrowers need to pay extra money to money lenders. We say in terms of house, we call it as rent. Similarly, interest nothing but one type of rent. We are using others' money for some time period, so we need to pay for that as rent. So that rent is here interest. Now let's understand what is this interest. We generally call it as simple interest. In that we have different terminology like principal. The amount borrowed is called principal. Now on the principal we pay extra money at some rate, that is called rate of interest. So this rate will be for particular time period and for every 100, because rate of interest always expressed in percentages. And the third one is time period. Time period may be depend on agreement between borrower and lender. Now let's understand the process of collecting interest or paying interest with an example. We have some principal which is 12,000. So borrower borrowed 12,000 rupees from money lender. Now the rate of interest is 3%, which means borrower need to pay 3 rupees on each 100. This may be for 1 year. Now time period is 4 years. So the borrower return back the money after 4 years. Now how much amount the borrower need to pay to the lender after 4 years? Now let's find it in the interest on 12,000 rupees, 3% per annum for 4 years. Now what is the principal? Which is 12,000 rupees. What is the rate of interest? 3%, which means 3 rupees additionally will be collected for every 100 per annum. Now they will collect 3 rupees per every 100, then how many hundreds are there in 12,000? So number of hundreds in 12,000 is 120. So we have 120 hundreds in 12,000. Therefore for 1 year the amount paid is 3 into 120, 360 rupees. So if it is 360 rupees for 1 year, then what would be for 4 years? Yes, 4 into 360, 1440 rupees. Therefore simple interest paid on 12,000 for 4 years at 3% is 1440 rupees. This is the general process for finding simple interest. Got it? Let's recall once. We need to find number of hundreds in the given principal. Then for the given principal we will find for 1 year, then we will multiply that particular value into number of years. We will do the same process for any type of sum. Now let us generalize a formula to find out simple interest, because every time it's not easy to find number of hundreds in the given principal. So come on, let's find a formula. Now let's take principal as P and rate of interest is equals to R%, which means R for every 100, and the time period B denoted by T. Now as we discussed in the previous, let us find number of hundreds in principal P. So P by 100. Then interest paid on P for 1 year equals to P by 100 into rate of interest. Therefore interest paid for T years is equals to P by 100 into R into T, and this can be written in a simple way as simple interest is equals to PTR by 100. So you can find simple interest on any amount by using this simple formula. So simple interest I is equals to PTR by 100. So after some particular time period, the borrowed amount plus additional amount called interest to be paid to money lender, that value is called amount. So amount is equals to borrowed amount, which is principal, plus additional amount, which is interest. So amount is equals to principal plus interest. As we know interest formula PTR by 100, therefore amount is equals to principal plus PTR by 100, and this can be written in simple formula amount is equals to P into 100 plus TR by 100, where T written as common out of the bracket. So formula to find out interest is equals to PTR by 100. Formula to find out amount to be paid after certain time period, some rate of interest is equals to P into 100 plus TR by 100. Now let's solve a problem using this concept. Find the interest on a sum of 8250 for 3 years at the rate of 8% per annum. See, time period is 3 years and rate of interest is 8% and principal is 8250. So given principal is 8250 rupees, time period is 3 years, rate of interest is 8%. So what is the simple interest formula? It is PTR by 100. So what is P? 8250, time period 3 years, rate of interest 8 by 100. By doing cancellation and simplest form, we will get interest is equals to 1980. Now let us find an application using this formula. At what rate per annum will 6360 yield an interest of 1378 in 2.5 years? So this is the principal 6360 and this is the interest which is 1378 in 2.5 years. We need to find rate of interest. So given principal is 6360, time period is 2.5 years, interest is 1378. By applying the formula I is equals to PTR by 100, I is 1378 which is equals to P value 6360 into 5 by 2 into R by 100. Now transposing the values 6360 5 by 2 and 100 to the left hand side. Therefore R is equals to 1378 into 100 into 2 by 6360 into 5. By doing cancellation and writing in simplest form as 26 by 3%, and this can be written as 82 by 3%. So this way you can find whatever we require. We just use the simple formula I is equal to PTR by 100 and amount formula P into 100 plus RT by 100. Based on this, you will have an assignment in the form of Google Forms through Google Classroom. Okay, using this formula, you just solve the problems in your book and choose the correct answer.
Hope you understood the concept of simple interest. Now try to apply these concepts, simple interest, on different amounts and try to find out where these simple interests are being used. We shall meet in the next session with a new interesting concept. Thank you all.